you know you're living in a glass house, brother, you should never throw rocks stone. Cause in this game of life, one have to realize, the more you live, the more you learn. Be careful how you go wrong life corners, cause what goes around comes back around. Still in so many ways, some truths to be so cold. Before you could slip and fall, you line up to dig your hole. But this is not the way the master said we should live. To get over the other side, love is imperative. So if you see a brother hurting, instead of cheering and rejoicing, sympathize, yes, sympathize. Whatever the circumstances, don't let hatred ruin your chances. Empathize, yes, empathize. Cause with so much trouble in the world, don't let the devil infiltrate your soul. Open your eyes and see how beautiful life could be. Cause we can change the world with love. We can only do it with love. So try a little love, just a little love, share a little love, a little love, and see how wonderful life could be. Give a little love, take a little love, try a little love, and help to share that more of love for eternity. This world needs some love, spiritual love, blessed love. Some people got big money, and so they act so funny, thinking they could run in the world. So nothing really matters once they know their bank book fat and run like a broad. But through the grace of God, they wake up every day, still they wouldn't say a little prayer to even say thanks for the breath that they breathe. All they care about is the dollar. Some of them live their lives with contempt for the poor. Their mansions and fancy rides, that is what they adore. While they place all their trust in the diamond, silver and gold, the devil and his angels waiting patiently for their souls. So if you know your sister hungry, don't let her sleep on hungry belly. Sympathize, yes, sympathize. The good you do unto your neighbor, you also do unto the Father. Empathize, empathize. Remember this commandment of the Lord, love is the binding cord. Open your eyes and see how beautiful life could be. Cause we can fix the world with love. Yes, we can change the world with love. So try a little love, just a little love, share a little love, a little love, and see how wonderful life could be. Give a little love, take a little love, try a little love, and help to share that more of love for eternity. This world is crying for love, blessed love. Old people used to say, if your neighbor house on fire, throw water on your own. And if you know you're living in a glass house, brother, you should never throw rock stone. Cause in this game of life, one have to realize, the more you live, the more you learn. Be careful how you go wrong life corners, cause what goes around comes back around. Still in so many ways, some truths to be so cold. Before you could slip and fall, they line up to dig your hole. But this is not the way the master said we should live. To get over the other side, love is imperative. So if you see a brother hurting, instead of cheering and rejoicing, sympathize, yes, sympathize. Whatever the circumstances, don't let hatred ruin your chances. Empathize, yes, empathize. Cause with so much trouble in the world, don't let the devil infiltrate your soul. Open your eyes and see how beautiful life could be. Cause we can change the world with love. We can only do it with love. So try a little love, just a little love, share a little love, a little love, and see how wonderful life could be. Give a little love, take a little love, try a little love, and help to shed that mold of love for eternity. This world needs some love, spiritual love, blessed love. Some people got big money, and so they act so funny, thinking they could run the world. So nothing really matters once they know their bank book fat and run like a god. But through the grace of God, they wake up every day, still they wouldn't say a little prayer, to even say thanks for the breath that they breathe. All they care about is the dollar. Some of them live their lives with contempt for the poor. Their mansions and fancy rides, that is what they adore. And while they place all their trust in the diamond, silver and gold, the devil and his angels waiting patiently for their souls. So if you know your sister hungry, don't let her sleep on hungry belly. Sympathize, yes, sympathize. The good you do unto your neighbor, you also do unto the Father. Empathize, empathize. Remember this commandment of the Lord, love is the binding cord. Open your eyes and see how beautiful life could be. Cause we can fix the world with love. Yes, we can change the world with love. So try a little love, just a little love, share a little love, a little love, and see how wonderful life could be. Give a little love, take a little love, try a little love, and help to share that mold of love for eternity. Blessed love, blessed love, sweet love. are listening, don't think it's kinda loving. The king man singing about. It's a universal love from the creator above. Take this message without a doubt. Cause in many different ways I see people every day giving love to so many wrong things. And sometimes consciously or unconsciously they living their lives in sin. Cause man was not meant to be living in drunkenness. No, cause you got to be sober to enjoy spiritual bliss. So if you only proclaim your love for things of this world, there is no if, no but, no maybe. You'll suffer the loss of your soul. It's time to do some real soul searching. Are you happy with the life you live in? Analyze, yes, analyze. You can't afford to make that mistake that will bring you eternal heartbreak. Scrutinize, yes my brother, scrutinize. Isaiah 53:6 say, we all like sheep, long gone astray. But open your eyes and see how wonderful life could be. Yes, we can make it up with love. Yes, we can fix it up with love. So pacify your love, a little love. Rectify your love, a little love. Reconcile your love, a little love, and see how wonderful life could be. Give a little love, a little love. Take a little love, a little love. Synchronize your love and help to share that mole of love for eternity. Give a little love, a little love. Take a little love, a little love. This world is crying for love. Blessed love. Old people used to say, if your neighbor house on fire, throw water on your own. And if you know you're living in a glass house, brother, you should never throw rocks down. 'Cause in this game of life,
in my father's house, there are many mansions. If it wasn't so, I would have told you. For you, walking in the footsteps of the Lord. I wake up in the morning, and before I eat my bread, brother man, I get on my knees and I give Jah praise. The day was not so moving, but before I go to bed, brother man, I get on my knees and I give Jah praise. 'Cause things could have been so different if you didn't love me. Love me. I say things could have been so very different if you didn't love me. Jah build my house, no man can break it down. Jah build my house, no man can break it down. I say, Jah build my house, nobody can break it down. Jah build my house, no man can break it down. Wicked people, make no sense, you try. Jah watch over right. Jah build my house, no man can break it down. No way. Jah build my house, nobody can break it down. I say, Jah build it. Jah build my house. On solid rock I stand. Oh, my Father, oh Lord, they can't break it down. The weather keep on changing in a funny kind of way, but I get on my knees and I give Jah praise. say things could have been so very brutal if you didn't love me. Jah build my house, no man can break it down. I say, Jah build my house, nobody can break it down. Jah build my house, no man can break it down. No way. Jah build my house, nobody can break it down. Jealous people, stop your mama guy. Jah watch over right. Jah build my house, no man could break it down. I say, Jah build my house, nobody couldn't tear it down. No way. Jah build it, me father build my house. Oh Lord, on solid rock I stand. I try my best to live up and to do what Jah say. So I get on my knees and I give Jah praise. But the devil keep on setting stones and pieces in my way. Still I get on my knees and I give Jah praise. 'Cause things could have been so gloomy if Jah didn't love me. I know things could have been so very foggy if Jah didn't love me. Jah build my house, no man can break it down. Jah build my house, nobody couldn't break it down. I say, Jah build my house, no man can break it down. No way. Jah build my house, nobody couldn't break it down. Tell them he them, stop him mama guy. Jah watch over right. Jah build my house, no man can break it down. I say, Jah build my house, nobody can break it down. No way. Jah build my house, on solid rock I standing here I am. Jah build my house, I'm walking with my father hand in hand. Jah build my house, with Jah love in my heart I know I can go wrong. Jah build my house, His truth and righteousness will make me strong. Jah build my house, oh me Lord, I praise you in my song. Jah build my house, tell the wicked man I say don't even try. Jah build my house, whether day and night Jah watching over I. Jah build my house, Jah build it so no man can break it down. Jah build my house, whether rain or sun my house will stand up strong.
And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Wherever you are, we say a special good night to you.
Oh God, I'm rising like a blazing fire.
Our US listeners, our UK listeners, those of you listening out there in Canada,
Yo, Mr. Hidden.
wherever you are, we say a special good night to you. Hope that you've been having a fabulous day thus far.
Why you fight against Jaja plan?
My name is Sheldon Scott. This is Talking Points, and we're here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour.
I want to know.
Sorry for the late start. I had one or two things I was doing in the background. They're just making sure, you understand? Yes, indeed. And tonight we'll be having with us once again the Honorable Alvin Dabrio. We're going to have a conversation in a little while, yeah. Yeah, but just before we get to my brother Alvin Dabrio, just want to run some of these by you. Remember, indeed, folks, we've got the meet and greet that is taking place this Saturday, and indeed it is being hosted by Mrs. Sonia Penny and Mr. J. Marichaud. So drinks on sale, free food, and there will be several prizes to be won. It starts at 1:30 p.m. this Saturday, and it's at J. Marichaud's residence in Belmont St. Patrick near the estate, and indeed all are welcome. So you're visiting Grenada, you want to meet the leader of His Majesty's opposition, you are on Grenada, you want an opportunity to meet the team from the New National Party, you could head on up there. So that's the meet and greet with the Honorable Emlyn Pear, organized by Mrs. Sonia Penny and Mr. J. Marichaud at J. Marichaud's residence, Belmont St. Patrick, right near to the estate. Drinks on sale, free food this Saturday from 1:30 p.m. All right, nice. So I hope you come out and think. Nice. Then remember the New National Party After Work Lime, that the Carnival edition that is going to be taking place not this Thursday, next week Thursday. Yeah, next week Thursday, the Carnival edition of the After Work Lime. It starts from 4 p.m. and indeed entry is free. Only good vibes, food and drink on sale at the New National Party headquarters out there in Tempe, St. George. So head on out to that activity. It is taking place next week, Thursday, the day before the holiday. And free entry. Yeah, but drinks and food will be on sale. And I hear one or two artists might pass through as well. Yeah, so one or two artists might make a little flow through and thing. So make a little checkout. That is taking place next week, Thursday, at the New National Party headquarters out there in Tempe, starting from 4 p.m. It's the New National Party monthly After Work Lime, the Carnival edition. And yeah, my voice want to go on me just so. K&R Bookstore, they present their back to school special. That is buy one, get one free on all school supplies. That is happening up until the 31st of August. So they have various items on sale: pens, pencils, rubbers, highlighters, markers, notebooks, backpacks, etc. And remember, they're located on H.A. Blaze Street, directly there in the Bailey's building. Go and get your stuff. Yeah, nice. And go early. Next thing you know, thing run out and where you go for something they do have. You understand? Go and get your school supplies and thing. Go and get it early. Nice. Yeah, One Soca presents, and we say a special good night to the listeners joining us on One Soca Radio out there in Brooklyn. And we noise with Chad, good night to you, bro. Yeah, out there in Brooklyn. So One Soca, they present their $10,000 bingo night. That's coming up this Saturday. And jackpot prizes of $3,000 and the big prize of $10,000. Gates open from 6 p.m. and the games start from 8 p.m. Hosted by Hercules and music by Mix Master why I keep saying Mix Master Gus? Master Mix Gus. City man thing proper. All right, so that's taking place at the Mechanics Temple, 65 Putnam Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11238. So head on out there and lend your support to them. All right, nice, yeah. And then remember my little friend here, Kelani, of course, I'll never forget Kelani. And as usual, on a nightly basis, you get the opportunity to take the account numbers of her mother and her father so that, you know, we could get what has to be done. And I hope we don't have to do this so much long again. I hope we can get her out of the country, yeah? Yeah, so I hope that we don't have much again to do with putting out that one again. Nice? Good. Yeah, so let's go to Fado. What's up?
Are you ready to take your brand to the next level? Look no further than the Chameleon Design Studios, the creative powerhouse behind Key Central and dozens of standout brands across Grenada and beyond. From web designs, animations, and motion graphics to custom video productions, we bring your visions to life with unmatched efficiency and professionalism. Need a logo? Logo design starts at just $1,500. And our starter pack includes brochures, call cards, and letterheads. Whether you're launching a new business, revamping your identity, or telling your story visually, Chameleon Design Studios is the new face of designs. Call us now at 1473-422-8601 or scan that QR code. Follow us on Instagram at chameleon_473. Let's communicate. Call us today.
Yes, indeed.
For more information, contact WeNoise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. WeNoise TV, the leading streaming provider. Anytime, anywhere, any screen. Access to your favorite HD contents with prices as low as ever. Choose from monthly, quarterly, or yearly payments. This worldwide service is flexible for you to keep up with all your favorite programs, shows, movies, and local programming from home no matter where you travel to. Worldwide TV channels right at your fingertips wherever you are. Latest in live sports, binge watch all your favorite TV shows, movies on demand, videos on demand. You can pause, rewind, fast forward anytime. Never miss 1 minute in entertainment important to you. No contracts, no added prices for sports or premium packages. We certainly don't have to pull tricks like cable and satellite companies. Our product speaks for itself and beyond. WeNoise TV. We have everything like Netflix, Disney, Amazon. Watch your favorite movies, TV shows, and series with our services. With our service, you will get rid of all other subscriptions. For more information, contact WeNoise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com.
Fitness Revolution 11 2025, 16 days of fun, fitness, laughter, energy. I just want to encourage everybody to come down to both Tantin, Old Trafford playing field, and Monroe's Granans for our eventful fun, fitness, and giveaways. Fitness Revolution 11, one and all. See you there.
Hi, I'm Jelani Gleam, new National Party caretaker for the constituency of St. Patrick West. Over the weekend, Sunday to be exact, we are again greeted with disheartening news of another shooting incident in the Wall Street area in St. George's, in which 5 persons were injured and reports of 1 person succumbing to the injuries, losing their life. Firstly, I would like to extend condolences to the families, loved ones, and friends of the deceased, and do wish those who are currently recovering from the injuries a speedy recovery. This is one incident too many, and I think it's time that we all take a stand together to address the issue of violence, particularly amongst our young people. In a spate of recent injuries, we've seen persons dying from stabbing incidents in the Grenada area, St. David recently. And in the past, we've been greeted with a slew of gun violence injuries and loss of life, including right here in St. Patrick West in the Montreal area, in which a young man lost his life. All of these injuries leaves our families broken, mothers weeping for their children, families for loss of loved ones, and friends never to see their loved ones again. We have to take a stand and say no to gun violence. I am making an appeal to our young men in particular to find another way. Put the weapons down. Think. Consider. It is not only the victims of gun violence that loses every time one dies. It is also the persons committing those crimes. Their loved ones also feel the impact of it, and themselves losing opportunities for a brighter future. Do not allow anger in a moment to distract you, to cause you to lose the opportunities of a fruitful and prosperous life ahead of you. Emotional intelligence is important. Bad decisions in a moment affects the rest of your lives. Walk away. Say no. Stay away. Keep away. Live for a brighter tomorrow. We of course love to see the police officers out there doing their best. During our recent amnesty to turn in firearms, we saw maybe less than 10 firearms being turned in. But through the operations of our Royal Grenada Police Force, we've seen over 50 guns being confiscated during their operations, and they must be commended for that. Of course, we appreciate increased presence, especially now as our carnival draws near and our entertainment events are a frequent occurrence. We would like to, of course, see our increased police patrols, searches, and that police presence that gives us confidence that everything is going to be okay and that someone is looking over our shoulders for us. But the police cannot do it all by themselves. They need each and every citizen to play their role. They need us to step up, make reports of suspicious activity, turn in information when it becomes available to us so they can act more effectively. Again, now is the time for our NGOs, our church leaders, our communities to step up and create avenues and opportunities for our young persons to engage their energies in different, more productive avenues. Learning emotional intelligence, learning self-control, learning discipline. As parents, we also have to take responsibility for the action of our kids, where we allow them to go, what we allow them to be exposed to, how we speak to them, how we caution them, how we try to keep them within our arms and close by so that we can look over them and ensure that they are staying away from these activities as much as possible. But at the end of the day, as individuals, we also have a responsibility, young men, to take responsibility for our own actions. We have to learn to walk away. We have to learn to say no. We have to learn to channel our emotions in a different direction that does not lead us to taking someone's life or becoming the victim of violent action. Let's make wise decisions today. For this carnival season, put down the guns, put down the weapons, walk away. And remember, job decisions do not always have to be bad decisions. Make good decisions, look out for each other, and let's have a clean, violence-free, successful carnival for 2025.
Yes, indeed, folks, and that's a message from the new National Party caretaker for the St. Patrick constituency. Don't worry, yes, I have the St. David one. We're going to play it too. All right, yes, we're going to play the St. David one in a short while. Just saying a special good night. Debbie, good night to all of you joining us on the live tonight. And I'm just in the process here of getting Mr. Alvin Dabrio on with us. So bear with me while I do that. All right, so just want to say a special good night to each and every one of you and hope that you all are having an absolutely, absolutely fabulous, fabulous night tonight. Why is this thing doing this to me? I'm trying to get something here and it's misbehaving. Yeah, it's misbehaving. Yeah, let me see if I can get that here done and here. Yeah, so in the interim, let me just find a little something here. Yes, while I get the Honorable Alvin Dabrio on with us, let me bust a tune for.
This is your sound of the soil. A man that grew up on fish oil. This is your sound of the soil. Alvin is a man on a mission. A man with compassion. He knows right from wrong. He have a plan for St. John. The FM station, television program, best in information, best for the nation. Alvin does vibes with everyone. He is your real humble servant. Anywhere you pass, anywhere you look, in crochet, in Bombay, anywhere you pass, Alvin, he is here, there and everywhere. Anywhere you pass, anywhere you look, in Florida, in Waterloo, Alvin,
And you know something very interesting from earlier today? I got an email that was sent out by the hospital together with the Royal Grenada Police Force, basically saying that folks cannot visit the ward, the male medical ward at the General Hospital because of what took place over the weekend, and probably they have people there that were involved in that and for safety and security. I understand that. But you may have one, possibly two, let's say you have one or two individuals that are there that may have been involved somehow in what took place on Saturday. Why not just shift the one or two people to another place? Let's say you shift them to private block and you put them on private block with two police officers there, rather than stop everybody from being able to enter the... I mean, that's just common sense, isn't it? But we can't accuse them of having that. But that's, to me, that's just sense. That's just how you do things. Instead of moving the people whose lives are possibly being threatened, who are on the ward, instead of moving them to another location that is easier to secure within the hospital facility, instead of moving them there and continuing to provide the treatment that you can provide there, you shut down the whole thing. So everybody that have family, they know you can't go, simply because you don't have enough sense to just move the individual or individuals into either private block or some other area. And there are other areas that you can do that. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But again, yeah, no-brainer. No-brainer in truth. Yeah, no, I said the right thing. I ain't said the wrong thing. It's a no-brainer. You shut down the whole... Let me see. Where's the memo that I see there? Yeah, I saw a memo in relation to that. Let me just pull up the memo there a little bit. Director of Hospital Services, 24-hour armed police presence at Accident and Emergency Department, General Hospital. Reference is made to the subject captioned, effective 17 July 2025, the following security measures are being implemented in the Accident and Emergency Department. A dedicated armed police presence stationed on a 24-hour basis, right, that's good. Security screening, metal detector and bag check for all walk-in patients and visitors prior to entry. I agree with that, do that. Right? These measures are necessary to safeguard our staff, patients, and visitors. Your full cooperation in adhering to the new protocols are anticipated. Please be guided accordingly. And let me see that signed by so. Right, nice. So, yeah, that's the internal memo and the outside memo and all kind of thing. Right. So, I understand that one. The one I do not understand is that you close off. You close off the male medical ward. Let me just... pull that one down here. Yeah, download quick. Nice, right, yeah. Woo, system working fast. Nice. Yeah. This is one I can't understand. You restrict visitors to the male medical ward, informs the public that effective immediately access to the male surgical ward is temporarily restricted. This proactive measure has been taken in response to recent safety concerns involving suspected gang-related activity in the vicinity of the hospital. To protect patients, staff, and visitors, heightened security protocols are now in place, including increased police presence and a complete suspension of visits to the male surgical ward. Well, if let's say you have 30 patients or 40 patients, one patient is the problem, move the one patient. That is how I see it. I don't understand you have to shut down the whole ward for that. So I can't go and see my family who might be on that ward. Somebody may not be able to go and see a loved one who it may be their final few hours on this earth. They are being denied that opportunity because some people don't have enough sense to know. Simply move the individual or individuals out of the male surgical ward into another ward, another area that you could properly safeguard. My goodness, man. Common sense, come on. That's why that caller does tell me, don't say common sense. It's not common. Don't say it. Yeah? So now you might have a family member that, things heading downhill. You cannot go and see them. You have to wait now and then get a call that your family member, that sometimes you fly all the way from overseas to come and be with them in the final few hours. You cannot be with them in the final few hours because some people do have the sense that if you have 40 people on the ward and one or two poses an issue, to remove the one or two to another location. Yeah? My goodness. And then, well, we're heading into the carnival season. We hope that everything goes all well and okay for the carnival season. We pray that everything goes all well and okay for the carnival season. We don't want to hear of any of these kind of things taking place. And when we say we don't want to hear, we don't want it happening. Yeah, we don't want any negatives happening. So parents, speak to your children, boy as well as girl. Don't get to have them girls and them holding knife and thing for fellas. So while the guys going in, the girls and them holding it for them. Yeah? And you see they going with umbrella, check the inside the umbrella. There are knife inside there too. And yes, I know all the tricks. They hide the knife all in umbrella. You see them walk with the umbrella, rain might fall and they go in the umbrella, open the umbrella and see what's inside it. You might be very surprised. All trick like that they're using. Check your children before they leave home. Mothers, fathers, grandfathers, grandmothers, great-grandfathers, great-grandmothers, uncles, yeah, brothers, sisters, everybody, auntie, talk to them. Before they go out, outside are praying for them, talk to them. That simple talk you might have with them might save them, eh? Talk to them. All right. Talk to them. Let me get the Honorable Alvin Dabrio on with us now.
A man that grew up on fish oil. This is your son of the soil. Alvin is a man on a mission. A man with compassion.
Good night to you, Camille Teresa Scott.
Knows right from wrong. He have a plan for St. John's. The FM station. Television program, best in information, best for the nation. Alvin does vibes with everyone. He is your real humble servant. Anywhere you pass, anywhere you look, in crochet, in Bombay, anywhere you pass, Alvin, he is here, there and everywhere. Anywhere you pass, anywhere you look, in Florida, in Waterloo, Alvin Day, Alvin Day, he's right here to stay, on his way to the rescue.
Yes, folks, so we just in kind of holding pattern as we wait to get on the Honorable Alvin Dabrio.
Nothing is impossible. He is the one to see you through.
He should be on with us within the next minute.
He is here to help you in good times and bad times. He
And folks, we had to talk, we will talk about it toughy tomorrow. I didn't think we would talk about it tonight again. But that bill that is going to Parliament on, it's Thursday, yeah? That bill that's going to Parliament Thursday and on Friday too, because they're rushing these things. So they're having a sitting for that and the constitutional amendment on Thursday with the lower house, and then on Friday, they're doing the Senate sitting. They're trying to rush these things through. And the Prime Minister this afternoon claims, and those of you in the different organizations, the churches, civil society, trade union movement, those of you who deal with public health, etc., you all would be able to verify the Prime Minister is claiming that there was extensive discussions in relation, there were extensive discussions in relation to this bill, the bill where they are lowering the age where children would be able, he even claims that there is no age of consent in Grenada. Not my words, his, that there's no age of consent in Grenada. That is what he has been saying. So we wait to hear what the Prime Minister has to say in relation to that. I think we have the Mr. Alvin Dabrio on with us. Hello, good night.
Yeah, yeah, Sheldon, are you seeing me?
I'm not seeing you yet. I'm hearing you nice though.
Okay.
Let's just get you up and we can get into it for tonight.
Right. Now you should be seeing me.
Yes, man. I seen you there, man. Just drop the camera a little bit for me and we're good to go. Yeah, man. Perfect,
like
right?
this?
Perfect right there, man. Nice, beautiful.
Okay.
So let me bring you up for the folks. Yes, indeed. And you are on. So say a good night to the listeners, Mr. Alvin Dabrio.
Yes, good night, Sheldon, and good night to all the listeners. I hope you all had a wonderful day, and now we are trying to make your night even better.
Indeed, we are. Yes, Brother Alvin Dabrio, interesting. Last week we were speaking about various situations in St. John, and the main issue that we spoke on last week, the issue of Cloget and that road heading into Cloget. On Sunday, we saw a visit by the Prime Minister. I know that you have heard, you saw his presentation at the meeting. You've also heard the presentation of the MP of the area and the other presentations. Your entire view on what is presently taking place and what has been said on Sunday.
Yes, Sheldon. Well, first of all, the meeting started, the MP for St. John. She admonished the villagers that this is not a political meeting. There's nothing political in it. Keep politics away from it. That was what the stage she set. When she started her presentation, she just went deep into politics. She started saying about in the past 10 years what NNP didn't do. She was even showing some pictures of things that happened during her term recently. Even after burial, things that happened, she's showing pictures and trying to blame the NNP. But that's a game changer. Because if you look at it, for instance, in the past 4 terms, NNP had 2 terms, and NDC, they're going on the 2nd term now. They're going into the 4th year.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the both parties were almost in office for about the same time during the past 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
But they just keep trying to tell people about NNP before, as if their time in office don't count. But I know it does not count because they don't do anything in office. They depends on NNP to do it. That's what all they're talking about is when NNP in office and NNP term. So the meeting went on, and the Prime Minister, who is also the Minister for Infrastructure, he said that there is two primary concerns for the meeting today. The first concern is that the road be done as quickly as possible. And then the second objective is to minimize the disruption and inconvenience to the people of Clogier. And I would just add that it is affecting Clogier, but this is the main thoroughfare that go through the middle of the island between the east and the west. So there's a lot of people that lives and businesses that are disrupted with the disruption of this road. So as I say, it's difficult for Clogier, but there is more. So as of tonight, right now, there is no walkway. The walkway has gone again.
So the walkway collapsed
There
today
is
again?
no light. Right now, as we speak, the Prime Minister should go up there and see what's happening.
Somebody
the people
in Clogier-
congregate there because they cannot pass.
Somebody in Clogier send Scotty a picture. I'll know my number. Everybody in Clogier
Yeah.
know my number. Send it for me.
And you're standing there right now and listening to pieces of the walkway fall. Right? This is what's happening.
But isn't this
And
the
then he
same
said
thing?
that-
Isn't this the same thing that Perry, that chap that does the videos out of, I'm not sure if in New York or Germany or whatever, but he told them, don't put a walkway, it's a dangerous thing. You should not have people passing there. He said it, he was on Jenny's program, he was on the Bob Report, he does his own blog, and he keeps saying people should not be passing there. He keeps saying it.
Well,
He's
Sheldon,
warning.
when does this government care about people? So we know they don't care. But what it is, he went on to talk about how there is increased traffic and increased vehicle size, and also he says that we have a diminished forest. Forest is disappearing according to him. But what the problem is, what we do not have is proper leadership and committed people to lead us into this developing area. And that's what they're lacking. He talked about the people brought up the question, and as you know, Sheldon, in the GIS, they remove all what the people was talking about, all the questions, because they don't want to be transparent.
They would
They
never
only show him
broadcast the entire thing. They would
Yeah,
never do that.
Exactly. Nothing negative. They only show what he say and what the MP have to say. Not everything that the MP say. The things that she said were degrading, they cut it off.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, but they're talking about transparency. And he was asked about the shuttle. And his response was that the MP and the PS were talking about a shuttle about a week ago. And they have to study it because of the schedule, whatever, and they want to hear what the people have to say. This is an excuse. If you don't want to do it, you will find an excuse. If you want to do it, you will find a way. But having a shuttle, right? If you really want to do it for the people and you want to know about times, you know what time people have to work. So if people have to work in St. George's for 8, you would have the first shuttle leaving Clogier at 6:30 so that people will be involved by 7 to be in St. George's for 8. Who have to work in Bob for 8? That shuttle could leave at 7:30. And likewise in the evening, one would be at 4:30 and 5:30. So this area, with this, you cover the people that have to work. Mm-hmm. And during the day, you could put up a schedule. You could say every 2 hours or every 3 hours, so people know what the schedule is, right? Mm-hmm. Just like if we're flying, we're traveling, we go with what the schedule BA or American Airline or Caribbean Airlines say. So if you're putting up a shuttle, put your schedule. Don't Don't do it, as if we don't know what to do. Well, we know you don't know what to do, but at least don't let it be a little more. What can I say?
Reasonable.
I was trying to be a little more, say something, let him be a little more tactful about it. So at least people would think, well, we know you can do it, but maybe your intention might be good and you might do something. But up to today, you still haven't put into place a shuttle. Then he talked about, they asked him about a bypass, right? I have went there. You could go down right before Dorset Mitchell House, right? There is a road that go down to the valley there. It's existing right now, right? So all you have to do is just open a road, just have the excavator open a road for you alongside the river, and you could follow the river, and the river would take you right by the bridge by Llewellyn Duncan Land. And it's a short distance. And you just put some binding on it or some chipstone, and people would have a route to get to closure.
So it would be
very simple.
It would be a motorable road that they'd be able to drive there.
Exactly. Very simple.
Okay.
If you want to do that, there is that avenue that you could use. But instead, he talked about the cost. He said when they asked him about the cost, nobody here haven't done anything about it. How could you say it's too costly? What you're doing right now is too costly because you said you had budget 250,000 to do it, and then now you said it would be 1.6 million, and that 1.6 million is still not accurate because from Sunday to today you still have many more sites happening. So which means it's deteriorating more. The cost is going up. You have to say they have to buy the land from the homeowner. And in addition, right now, they would have to, the people above the house that go in, they would also have to address the situation because right now they're very close to where the present slippage is happening.
So you're referring here. Let me just be certain here. You're referring to the house that's at the edge or other houses that are now about to be affected by the slide as it goes?
Yeah, the house above the edge, because the house at the edge is going and you could see a slippage point.
Yeah.
So which means that the houses beyond that would be in danger.
Also, the other houses, most likely, they're worried now,
right,
seeing what is going on there. I also saw that on the weekend they brought some binders. They threw it into the trench that was forming there. Maybe they wanted to say, well, we do something. So they were boasting that they work overnight over the weekend to address problems. And next day, you even see the fellas who work overnight, they can't come out the next day. And then the same area they put the binders in, it just dropped down, right back down to the level it was before. And even worse now, just continue going down, which tells a story. It tells a story of what is going on geologically in that area.
Exactly. This is what's happening. You see, because in the first instance, what they should do, first of all, do your soil test. So you know exactly what it is that you're dealing with. The test would tell you that. And based on that, you would know what type of foundation you have to build and how to do your excavation.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition to that, you also have to locate your utilities, where your utilities pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be it above or underground, it doesn't matter, because if it is above, you got to know where the poles are, because if anything happens, you could have poles sliding down with the high voltage, etc. So you have to take all that into consideration. Don't come now, because most of this speech was blaming Nawasa, and I wonder who is in charge of Nawasa.
The Minister of Infrastructure.
Exactly.
Maybe he needs to fire the minister.
Falls under the same Minister of Infrastructure.
Well, maybe the
so
Prime
why
Minister.
is he trying to blame one part?
Well, the minister needs to fire him. He needs to fire that minister.
Exactly. Right. So that shows the leadership that we're not getting, that he doesn't have that competence. right? So you see the both areas under him, you seeing it, they're just falling apart. And you know they like to blame, so he's blaming Awasa, which is also under his leadership, right? And if you have a problem with the mains, which you're supposed to know the mains is there, you would have a crew standing by, or have you're supposed to, even before you start your construction, reroute the water if you know it will be in your zone, right?
But
So
Brother
don't come now
Dabrio,
to people.
what is
Yes.
interesting, Brother Dabrio, is that while the Prime Minister is blaming Nawasa and he speaks to burst pipes in May, we know that it's 2 weeks ago that we had this major incident taking place with a burst pipe, and at the same time you're having the structure. And I think that he's doing it in reverse, that he's blaming the burst pipe for the flooding, for the slide, when is the slide that caused the burst pipe? So he's blaming what happened instead of blaming what really took place. There was a slide that broke the pipe. It wasn't a case that the pipe broke, and because even the engineer, when you listen to him, he is not speaking to a pipe burst and caused this. He is speaking to groundwater and saying that tests need to be done. So the Prime Minister is not being genuine with the people of Cloget.
Yes. And they even in his speech, he talked about 10 springs, they discovered 10 springs. But all it is the water is coming from the same source. It's just how you excavate in. But that's what they're supposed to have done in the first place. Manage the water, put some drainage at the top or whatever, or dig a trench so that you would collect the water before where you started doing your excavation. Just a narrow trench, maybe 2 feet wide, right? So that it would be a collection point for your water and a diversion point from which you would divert your water out of the site where you're working. So all this was done. So it just talks to the leadership that they have in the ministry right now.
Or lack thereof. Lack of leadership.
Well, the quality of, yes, well, which they don't have, but the quality that they have right now, because this is what's happening. And then is there, and all he's talking about is the contractor. As if the contractor did their own drawings and the contractor is responsible. But hey, Mr. Prime Minister, the contractor work for you. You have to show them the leadership. Don't be blaming them or depending on them to solve things that you're supposed to solve. You're supposed to be giving the direction. The ministry that you're responsible for is supposed to come up with the drawings and supervise the implementation of those drawings. But you're sitting there talking about the contractor tell you this and the contractor tell you this. But it's just like I say, is the tail wagging the dog. This is what's happening there.
Indeed, and now we're hearing of the costing of $1.6 million, and I'm still, in my mind, trying to figure out where that costing came from, because you've not done your excavation to the point to find out what geologically is happening. You're still finding water in places you didn't expect to find water. The land is slipping, even though they're saying they're doing things to stabilize it. All of these things are being said. You're saying 1.6 million. In my mind, the Prime Minister just threw out a figure, because you ain't drill a hole to test where the rock is, the type of rock, how deep the rock goes. It's not just that rock is there. It's the type, how deep that rock goes, if there is water there, the source of the water, the flow of the water, everything. You have to test all of that before you come up with a strategy of how to deal with it. So to say now to the Grenadian people, well, in fact, to the lovely people of Cloget, good night, Mr. Handsome, and the lovely people of Cloget, to say to them that this thing going to cost $1.6 million, in my view, is absolute nonsense.
Well, exactly. And it's the same way he talk about, you say that they study a bypass and it's too expensive, right? Again, that is just more open words jump out. You have no proof to say, yes, this is the costing of a bypass. And as you rightly say, right now you cannot put a costing on what's going on because it's changing every day. It's changing and they're still excavating. So I don't understand what methodology they use to come up with that costing unless it's just a figment of his imagination.
So they have a situation where the land continues to slide. The problems continue, building walkway, and every few days the walkway going down. Luckily, and we hope it didn't go down with anybody tonight, luckily without anybody on it at that point in time, you have these things taking place. You have an alternative route that you could, well, I could tell you under a new National Party government, closure people would be passing on that alternative road already. So the costing is too much it's too much to spend that money for the people of closure. And for other people that have to utilize
exactly
that road.
what he's saying. Exactly. He don't care about you, yes. Because there is no end in sight to what's happening. There is no relief for people financially. There is no shuttle or anything in place. He have done nothing for them other than have a photo up with the meeting that he went there. But up to today, there is still nothing concrete that is said in the meeting to tell people this is what we're gonna do, this is what will happen. So they just the same way that they were before he came, and even worse, because right now you have no walkway that has gone down, no lights.
Also, there's
And
also no
again,
light in
no
that
home.
area. There's also
Yes.
no light. So even if
There's no
somebody's
light.
coming
So-
up and they're trying to cross, they do so at
There
their
is
own
no
peril.
right- total darkness you have there. Yes,
My goodness.
at their own peril. So it's very, very, very dangerous there, right? Very dangerous. And as I say, you don't see him. He just believe that he'll go there and show his face in a meeting, and that would solve it. And they were not there before. And the first sign of the slide, work supposed to have stopped there, and then you would revisit it and then come up with a solution. Don't wait until everything, totally slide off, right? Depending only on the contractor who just continue excavating. And now you're trying to see who you could blame, or you're blaming Nawasa, and you have the contractor there as if it's the contractor that contracted themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And again, at this stage, it reminds me a bit of what took place in Molyneux, where they changed around the plans. First, they got rid of the person who was on the project. Then they had to bring them back, change around the plans, and ended up spending a lot more than they ought to have spent on that Molyneux project, and faced challenges that they ought not to have faced. And for those who don't know, there are still challenges in the making with that Molyneux project. If you take a proper look at the hill and the houses that are perched above it, you realize that there are still challenges that folks are facing with that Molyneux area. And now you have closure added to the mix.
Well, look in Molyneux. Basically, you have a bridge on top of a bridge there, a road, a double surface you have there. So you have more than quadruple times the weight had you just have one road going across. And then you put a sidewalk for people. And as you build the sidewalk, you come in and you put a major big pipe on top the sidewalk where people have to pass. This again shows you the type of leadership that we have in that ministry and how they think about the welfare of people.
Indeed.
Pass the pipe under the bridge. You have enough place there, not in the middle of in the sidewalk where people have to pass. Again, that's how they just don't think about people. That's not part of the modus operandi. Just like they say before the church and go off, right in front of the church, you go put a deep drain so people coming out in the church could step in and fall. But that is how they operate. Just no thought into anything, and they do not look at the human factor in those decisions that they make. Yeah.
Where from here for the residents of Cloger? They're at this stage, they're hearing what you're saying. They've heard what the Prime Minister and the MP said on Sunday. They are still the ones, regardless of all the talk we talked tonight, regardless of all the photo ops that the Prime Minister had on Sunday, they are still the ones that have to live in this reality. They are still the ones that have to face collapsing walkway and taking that treacherous journey across that area when another area could have been provided. It's like they're waiting for somebody to get injured or something in that area before they decide, let's do the alternative road. Where from here for the residents of Cloger and also other all other people that utilize that road? Where to from here?
That's exactly. They still haven't have the answers, And it seemed as if he already forgot about them. His job was just to get a photo up and go there, and he's just bamboozling them because they asked him about the shuttle. Even something as simple as a shuttle, right? Look at you say you're up from 250,000 to 1.6 million. How much would the shuttle cost? If you care about people and their livelihood, that should have been implemented long time ago, right? So that people could move about their business. But instead, you're just trying to bamboozle them about you don't know what the schedule will be and you don't know whatever. But yet still, you ask people to elect you because you say you are one of the smartest lawyers in Grenada, smartest person, right? But where is all the smarts that you propose to have? We're not seeing it. What we're seeing is that the ministry and the country is void of competent leadership. That's what we are sad to say.
And indeed, I know many of us, we really feel it for the people of Clogier and what they are going through, and other people that utilize that area. And to continually have to risk their lives passing, and it is, folks, this is not over-exaggeration. They are actually risking their lives when they cross from point A to point B there. They are risking their lives because what can happen is it can collapse with one of them going over and they could be covered, they could be buried under it, things could hit them, different things can happen to them. They are actually taking chances with their lives. And I heard, again, Perry, I have to mention his name again, did speak to all of that. He did speak to all those issues and that the area was unstable. He shouldn't be crossing there. In his words, out of the goddamn mine. That's how he says it. So, Brother Dabrio, I realized that you also were in the area towards the end of last week. You were up there as well, visiting some of the residents. I saw you up there dropping off some supplies for some of the residents because there are people who are differently abled in the area. Some people have different medical conditions, and I saw you with your jola on your back heading up the hill into Clogier. Tell us a bit about that.
Yes, so as I say, I'm doing my part, and it's not that I'm just sitting down in meeting talking, right? I'm on the ground, and I'm with the people, listening to them, trying my best to see how in opposition and not having the resources of the government, but just trying my best to see how I could help the people, make life a little easier for them and whatever, even if it's just talking to them and giving them some hope. Because the MP for St. John's and the Prime Minister, I would like to ask them, what have you done to minimize the difficulties to the villagers of Clogier? What have you done? Yes, we'd like to see.
One listener is asking if the opposition can join with the visitors. They're asking if we can join with the people of Clogier and open the bypass road. But there's one issue there. Government will not allow you to just take excavator and open the road like that. And does the road pass through private property, the possible bypass road? Or do you know if that's government property or if it's private property? And if the folks who own that property may be willing. But government doesn't need permission really, you know. Government can acquire. Government don't need permission.
It's an emergency, so
yeah.
It's an emergency, so the government has the way and the means to do that. Opposition can't. So it's only them. And that's why you have a government, to do things that you cannot do for yourself. That's what they're there for. We just ask them to get up and do your job. Get up and do what you're getting $24,000 a month to do. And the Prime Minister, I'm sure, getting more than $24,000, right? So do what you're being paid to do. Stop blaming NNP. This happened under your watch. Show us what you could do. Don't still trying to blame us, trying to look for scapegoat. Don't blame Nawasa. Don't blame the rain this season. You that started it then, right? Blame yourself and take corrective measures to help the people of Clogier.
And in one positive move though, the GCNA, I just got a message there, the GCNA actually went up and purchase nutmegs. They went and buy the nutmegs. That's how important closure is. They didn't wait for the closure people to have to gang up and get a transport to bring the nutmegs across to St. Andrew. The GCNA went and buy nutmegs up there today. And that was a good move, I believe, on behalf of the GCNA. You could tell they're not under the Ministry of Infrastructure. They went and buy the nutmegs up there today.
Thank God for that one.
And that has been a challenge for a lot of the nutmeg farmers, and not just the nutmeg farmers. You know, a lot of the best dasheen and Tanya and all these things you could ever get. Yeah, I know. Well, I know you get a Tanya, a dasheen log before, because you brought me up there to get the dasheen log. Some of the best of those fruits and things you could get comes out from closure, but now they have a problem getting it to market.
Yes, exactly. You cannot get it to market. And even things that have to go up, even the fisher folks can't go up there to sell their fish. So it's people is hurting right around, and this government does not seem to care. They're not doing anything to alleviate the sufferings of the people. They don't care.
Now, you've dealt with situations before where there was emergency. For instance, the collapse of that bridge. I'm trying to remember the bridge, right in Guelph itself there. Yeah. There was that bridge that collapsed. Bridge. Right. Yeah. That collapsed. And you ensured that, because right now you can't talk about there's a problem with it. It was rebuilt properly and so on in a timely manner. And other projects, because they tried to give the impression, for 10 years all you vote for people and nothing wasn't fixed. And they're passing on the Hubble Bridge. They're passing on the bridges, and so they're going up.
And when the Hubble Bridge fell, we built a walkway for the people to pass, an alternative route. We had that there for them, and it was so well built that they used the same walkway to go by the Lance Bridge, right? And they could still take the same walkway today and put it up in closure to make a place so that the people could pass. They could still do that. There is another walkway, bridge, temporary bridge that was put by the Brothers Bridge there, right? So the Brothers Bridge is now, it's motorable, but they're still waiting on the same Ministry of Infrastructure to pave the road to and from the bridge and on the bridge. That's still not done. But the temporary bridge could also go up to closure, and you could put the two of them together, and that would be more than adequate for the people to have a decent walkway. If you're thinking of and you care about people, these are things that you would do, right? So we have examples of how, when our time, what we did for people, and then we have examples we've seen right now, what they're doing for people. Nothing is happening there, and they could still use those temporary structures to bring it up in closure so people could have a safe place to cross.
So we have that situation that is taking place there. And, even this evening, I was listening to something, and some folks are trying to give the impression like all those lights in Plainfield and so were put up since the NDC came into office, that they put up all these lights on Plainfield, and they redid all these community centers, and giving that false impression out there, like all the development that you see taking place in Grenada now only dates from 2022 forward. And they wouldn't mention, for instance, if we're speaking in Guavtong itself, we could start in Guavtong and go out from there. That when you talk about the lights that are there at the Cuthbert Peters Park, that Alvin Dabrio signature and fingerprint on it. When you talk about
the lights there, that was done by Cuthbert Peters Park. We did the pavilion, and the NNP did the park upgrade and everything. Ask them the lights that were purchased for Montgomery Plainfield. If they put in a light, where is it today? Ask them that.
Indeed, but the lights on the Plainfield went up during your time.
In Cuthbert Peters Park? No, we did some modifications to them.
Okay.
But then, right. But we had a FIFA through Cheney Joseph. We're looking at upgrading them because right now they're on poles. But they need to go on towers, you see, like what we did the last address. And so that at least you could go in easily, go up and change a light. Right now it's very difficult to change a light because you cannot climb to the top.
So the pavilion, That was rebuilt, Alvin Dabrio. There's another playing field I seem to remember you lighting, and I'm trying to remember exactly where that is.
Power Park,
Yes.
Concord, also Florida, also Roy.
So you light up the whole place, man.
And we had the lights as they purchased for Mongrambi, in which they took away. So the people are talking about playing field. Ask them where those lights are today. The ones that were bought from Mongrambi playing field.
So those lights disappeared from Mount Granby and miraculously appeared somewhere in the south of the island.
Yeah, well.
So the people of Mount Granby and deserve light. They deserve light too. So they take it and they send it elsewhere.
They're right, exactly.
So because we keep hearing, oh, nothing wasn't done, nothing was done, 10 years and nothing was done, and so on. They basically emptied the health center. They make sure that it had nothing inside there. They took out all the supplies from there, and they don't acknowledge any of the things that were done in that space of time. They just refuse to acknowledge it, and then on top of it, try to give the impression now that what was done, it's they that do it.
Yeah, because even the same Cuthbert Peters Park, when I came into government, there was no washroom facilities, nothing there for people. You have schools having sports, and there is no facilities for the children or for anybody, no facilities there. That was how it was under the whole term in office, under the Tillman Thomas term, which he doesn't talk about, as if they were never in office. It's always NNP that were there. And in the same health center, they mash it up, they just break it down and they leave it on the ground. That's all they did to it. Yes.
It's like they were spiting St. John people for the fallout at Michael Church. It's like they decided we fall out with Michael Church, we go spite St. John people. If they did anything during that period of time, maybe they believe the people of St. John might have said that church get it done. So they wanted to spite him, and they decided, nah, let St. John people suffer. And to an extent, even without that sort of thing happening now, we see them spiting the people of St. John, because you're taking lights, you go with it. The people of Clogier, simple thing, you just decide that there's too much money to spend. So it is not too much money to spend.
They're taking light, and they're taking the medical stuff and going with it. Also, not only the light. And we have no MP fighting for us.
So let me ask, it is okay to spend $24,000 to the Prime Minister to reside in somewhere while there is a Prime Minister's residence, but it is not okay to spend some money, which I'm sure wouldn't even reach to half of what he's paid for half of the year, for that unnecessary rental property, to just open a road for Clogier people as an alternative?
Exactly. And I wonder who would take, they always like to blame, but who would take the blame for this incompetent decision that would take a project to move from $250,000 to $1.6 million? Somebody have to account to the taxpayers for this gross negligence and gross mismanagement of taxpayers' money.
Indeed.
And yes, also, I also want to know the money that was budgeted for the housing in Stony Gut and Black Bay. What happened to that money? Why it's not happening for the people in St. John's?
Because, Brother Dabrio, again, the Stony Gut project, and you mentioned that last week, but it's very important to revisit that particular project, because the impression they keep giving is that nothing was in place, no land was available, it was just a pipe dream sort of thing. And I've seen the documentation in relation to it. I have the schematics for different things in relation to that. I know what was supposed to take place.
They don't have to go far. Ask Delma Thomas. She was in Clogier, sitting down in the meeting on Sunday. I don't know what she's doing up there, but she was up there. Ask her, she knew about that.
Maybe she's going to refresh her memory so that she could tell them about it in cabinet. You never know.
All they have to do is just ask number 10 and she's going to tell them. The land is still there, where the money went, everything is still in place.
Indeed. And folks, I'm speaking with my brother Alvin Dabrio, and we're speaking about some of the issues that are still happening in St. John. No, it hasn't ended. Not because you see the Prime Minister go up there, and according to my partner, BJ, good night. That not because you go up there and you take 80 plus pictures, and you post 80 pictures, you posing with this one and you're posing with that one and you're posing with the other. It did not change the needle on what the people of Clogier are going through on a daily basis. It does not change the needle on what the average Grenadian who utilizes that road as a shortcut to get to the East Coast, it does not change the needle for what that person is going through. The people in St. Mark who may have had a job over in St. Andrew or so and use that as a shortcut to get over to St. Andrew. And we have to pray right now that nothing happens along the West Coast Road, because whereas you had the Clogier Road that you're able to utilize, in case there's a slide, and we generally have slides when you have very serious weather, and sometimes even without serious weather, you have different slides on the West Coast. We have to hope now we don't have a serious slide or anything there, because Clogier is impassable. You can't cut across the center of the island.
Yeah. And again, I'm just showing you how, I don't know what it is they have against with St. John, but there was the Republic Bank had a branch here, so at least people could go and do their banking. Right now, you have to go down to St. George's, there's no more bank in Guav. So I don't know the reason why they stop it, but if they say it's because the economy of Guav and St. John's is not doing well anymore, then I would hope that the Prime Minister would step up and say why it is that the bank had to go, why is it that they're not doing well in St. John's anymore. Because when Dr. Mitchell said that Guav they're gone to sleep, they're dead, they laughed at they were trying to laugh at him, make a joke. But the fact is there, the reality is there. The activity, the financial activity is not happening. You could see it in the economy, right? And we have the smart boys to blame for that. Let them step up to the plate, right? And take responsibility for their failures. Why is the economy of St. John's going down? Why we cannot support a bank anymore? Yes, why do we have to go all the way into St. George's to do our wire transfer or to do something simple?
And again, that is a symptom of the broader problem that is facing the people of St. John and the West Coast in general. Because I constantly hear complaints from the people in St. Mark about access to an ATM machine, that sometimes they have to go to St. Patrick to get access to an ATM machine. And it's when the one in St. John working, they could get access to the one in St. John, and sometimes it's not even working. So to even have access to cash electronically, but via that means to say, well, okay, we're going to go to the ATM there and we're going to be able to withdraw money. They have that problem as well.
Yes, and even if you have a check in your hand, you cannot cash the check in the ATM.
No, well, that's tongue for you.
Well, exactly. So there you go. The ATM will only help you if you have money in the bank. But if you have any other transaction to do, it's not helping you.
And in the current economy as well, you recognize that the credit unions have stepped up in a lot of these instances, but you're not even seeing that for St. John, that any of them are coming and saying, well, we're going to open a branch or so, and there must be a reason for that. If they're not seeing the economic activity to cover the cost of having a facility and the staff and everything there, they won't come and set it up. And at this point in time, they're not seeing it because the economy dead.
Yeah, and as I said, there was one that was there from since in our time. It was open, but you have like the other credit unions and stuff. They could at least have another outlet there, because it's not everybody that would join the same credit union, right? Because you have to have your shares, etc. So at least these are things that would help a town develop.
Because when you look at what is taking place in St. John at this point in time, do you see any semblance of a strategy, a long-term strategy of this is how we are going to develop St. John as a parish, this is how we're going to develop the town of Guav? Are you seeing the base being placed there before they build on it for any sort of development, or is it still a case of, a slapdash, we go do a little thing here, we try a thing there, well, build a wall there, 200 and something thousand, and now it's a million something, die nothing. Same contractor, go ahead. What's the approach?
I'll give it. There is somebody from Marigot that called me today, and they was asking for some advice and some assistance. And I told him that, well, you should go see the MP. They say yes. She say, well, I've went there to the MP. When I got there in the first place, the first time, they took my phone, so I couldn't even show her pictures. When we asked, she said when she asks about why she can't go with her phone, they say that the MP do not want people to come and take any negative pictures of her. Well, what I gather is that, well, there's rumors how she does talk down to people and the quarreling and stuff that's going on there. So she don't want people to see that. But yet, since she go in and take up people pictures and post it up all the time, but don't come in her office with phone. And then she said she make the appointment for Thursday to see her. Thursday, they say she was not in office. She not well. But yet still they saw her in the good pen because she and Sweeney and them, they are NDC people. They use the environmental wardens for over a week to clean up the good pen so that they could come and have their parties there, their fundraisers on a Thursday evening. This is what you call abuse of public funds.
Well, I'm hearing that her father has a contract to do a wall over in, I think it's Grenada, the medical center there. Have you heard anything about that? That her father has the contract? I mean, if my father was alive, there's no possible way and I'm an MP, there's no way that Daddy I go handle otherwise. But there's no possible way that would be taking place by hearing that her father has contract and all kind of thing too. He's a contractor.
That's normal thing that's happening here in St. John. Nepotism is at its peak.
My goodness. Folks, I'm speaking.
But the same people that were talking about that on the NNP are not even close. Like, where are they now? Where are they hiding? You're not hearing nothing like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the people who are making those claims and saying that taking place and this taking place and that taking place, they seem to be very quiet at this point in time.
Yeah. The same one that we're talking about passport sales and passport is not a commodity or passport is not a commodity. I wonder where they are now today, Sheldon.
One of them is actually a passport agent.
Okay.
One of them is, and you're doing good too, is a passport agent.
But he's not selling passport, he's selling a commodity.
It was selling like fish cakes. Passport. It was selling as fish cakes in the market. And now they make sure they get a share of the fish cake.
Yeah, hypocrisy at its heights.
Yes, it
yeah, that's how they operate in there. So they all gone quiet and talking about transparency. Yeah, well, we know there is nothing transparent about them. And then you know that they're quick to sue.
Yeah.
Everything now, they're quick to sue. They're just trying to see if they could use that to silence people. But why it is, if you go into public, you're working for you're taking contract to work with the government and government institutions, and you're advising government and you're in the public area. Why is it that you think that people are not supposed to say anything about you? But you were saying thing about the previous government at Lib. But now it's a different story.
Well, it seems as though, as you mentioned, Sue, it seems as though it's a concerted effort to silence any voices that are going against the government at this point in time, because we see, I'm hearing about what is taking place with Mr. Andre Donald and him saying that if things continue along this line, that August may be the last for his entity, in its present form at least, that would be the last for his entity. You see what has happened with Miss Jenny Simon. I ain't talking about myself yet. Let them talk. I ain't talking about myself. But you're seeing that they're going after, even Prince was written too. So you have this concerted effort to silence any voice that's out there going against them.
And you see, the thing about it is, it's not that the people doing anything wrong. But it's just that the fact that they have to get money to pay lawyer retainer and all these red tape. So that's what they use in the court system for unjust reasons, just to tie up people.
And the other thing
And
is
they know
this.
that they could drag it out and everything. So until their term is over, right? And then they probably might drop charges, but after the damage is done. And that's what they're using. It's a tactic, right? To try to make it difficult for people to criticize them.
Indeed. And it's also a tactic, as far as I'm concerned, to scare other people, because the average man or woman out there, they hear that, okay, you take Jenny Simon to court, or you're messing up Andre Donald to the point you pull the government ads, and you're laughing about it, that you pull the government ads and you're trying to kill his station, and you attacking various other people in different ways. It's a matter of scaring other people into not talking. They're trying to scare people so that people would be afraid to talk. But I'll tell them, in my case, I will never fear all you. All you always a bon samage. I would never fear any of all you. All you can't scare me. Yeah? But that is what they're trying to do, Brother Dabrio. They're just trying to frighten people and get people to the stage of where you don't want to talk because, boy, them fellas and them, next thing they do me this, next thing they do me that. No. That's what they want in this country at this point in time.
Exactly. If you don't want to do the people business in a genuine and competent way, then leave the people business, let competent people take over and do it. But don't stay there just because you want the money and they want to travel the world and enjoy your nice life. That's all they want to do. And the people still suffering. Look, when he left Closure, he left with his 2 vehicles and his entourage and everything, whereas people have to walk. Right? So how could you feel the pain of people, as you say, I walk up with Majola. Did he walk? No.
So there's this other issue I want to ask you about as well. As a former and soon to be MP again, I ain't guessing that, I'm telling you. There's a situation where I'm being contacted right now by several young people in SGU who just can't make the payments that they're supposed to make to re-enter. Some of them were already there, and they need to pay that 2,000 plus because government has covered part of it automatically. That's an arrangement between SGU. It's not a favor that government is doing. That's an automatic thing for Grenadians. That is covered there. But they still have to find the 2,000 plus to pay the difference. Now, during your time, I know that you organized for several students to go to SGU, many students to go to SGU. What was the process basically like during the time of the NNP? Would you have situations where students can't go?
We never let any students, no one was left behind. Everybody that came got assistance. And if we didn't use government fund, I used funds from my own pocket to make sure that no child was left behind. Be it TAMCC, SGU, wherever it was.
And this is the thing. You're hearing that situation, and in many of these instances, these folks have gone to MPs and are getting the runaround. Or, oh, no, government handling that, government is paying this. For instance, I know our good friend Oliver Joseph. I know once you reach by Ollie and it's a situation like that, if he can't find it under a program, he's going to pull it out of his own pocket, same as you, and pay for that child to go to SGU. But we're having a situation now that some students don't know if they'll be able to get their student ID and all the thing for the new school year and to re-enter, because they just don't have it. Their parents don't have it, and they're stressing out now. They're becoming depressed. And we know what's happening with depression and young people in Grenada right now. They're becoming depressed because they just cannot make it. They just can't make it. And they're not seeing any way out of it to be able to go. And all they want to do is improve themselves. They want to go online. They want to buy a costume for Carnival. They want to go and say, well, let me take a vacation in the next Caribbean island. What they want to do is go and improve themselves. And that opportunity is not being given to them.
And Sheldon, a good government would be happy to help and make sure that all students can pay the way to get an education, because when they are educated, the country benefits. So that should be a top priority of the government.
Indeed. And I raised it with you because a former MP, I remember even at one of your meetings, one young person that was completing their studies came and they said publicly thank you because of the help that you had given to them personally to help them to get through university and so.
Yeah. And even we thought it wasn't even right at the primary school level. They stopped funding the school feeding program. So if you can't afford, go hungry. And the Prime Minister with his own words said that they would not be buying medication for you in the hospital. This is what we have as our leader. No empathy for poor people, right? And he didn't hide and say it, He said the government would not be funding medication in the hospital. Because when you go to a hospital, that's what you go there for. That is supposed to provide these medication, these facilities for you. But that's what he said. And even right now, when they had the situation with guns before, you remember he said in Parliament that it's happening here and there, and it's going to happen here too. Right? No, you're closing down the hospital, the male ward, so loved ones cannot visit their family. And research has shown that a great part of the healing process is when you have loved ones around you. But now the hospital come like a prison. You can't even visit your loved ones in the hospital because he refused to take the actions, the early actions, when was confronted with this problem. That's the kind of leader that we have.
But no, and the simple issue, and I mentioned it a little earlier before you came on, that what they're doing makes absolutely no sense. You have 4 people have been shot. We know one is a female, so they're not speaking about that one. It means between 1 to 3 people on that ward are the people who they're worried about, that they're afraid that others may come to get them. Then why are you keeping them on the ward, even if you say no visitors? Why are you keeping them on the ward? Would it not have been easier to transfer them to another area of the hospital where it would have been more manageable? And then you say that area, we're not allowing people to come there. Instead of barring the families from 30, 40 people on the ward.
You're asking questions of people that like people that think, people that care, but they don't. So they don't care. I just say a progressive thinking person or leader would say, okay, well, if these people is a threat, whatever, let's isolate them, put them in a different facility, move them someplace, right? But they know they don't care. Shut down the ward, don't let nobody come and see their families. That's how they think. That's the mentality.
And that makes absolutely
no.
I'm trying to figure out in my mind, where does that make any? But then again, I have fallen into my own trap of expecting sense from people who don't have. And
exactly.
that is something that I should not do.
Trying to tell you. They don't. Yeah.
I don't want to end up in court. I don't want nobody sue me because I don't want them say that I said they have sense and I falsely accuse them and I lying on them, and therefore they take me to court for accusing them of having sense. So I'm sorry, listeners. I take back what I was saying. We know that these people ain't have no sense. So we know that what they're doing is stupidness. We know that. Yeah, I don't want to accuse them of having sense. Because why? Just, you have private block. And there are different areas in private block that they could decide they could manage. They have other areas within the hospital facility that they can easily isolate these. We used to isolate people during COVID. You can easily isolate these individuals with proper security. Because there may be a father that's on the ward, the male medical ward right now, that is into his final few hours, his final few days. And you, because you don't have enough sense to take the 1, 2, or 3 people and relocate them, because you don't have enough, well, 2 because, yeah, 2 people, because you don't have enough sense to relocate these people to another location, you are denying families the opportunity to say their goodbyes. You are denying families, if that is the case, and we hope there are no cases like that there, we hope nobody on the ward like that. But just in case that is the situation, you are denying children the opportunity to tell their father goodbye. You are denying wives the opportunity to go and say their final goodbye to their husband. You're denying that to family members simply because they have no sense.
Exactly. And most of these people depend on the family members to come and change the bed sheets and say, and that because right a lot of times it's not being done
Because they
there
understaffed.
by staff. People just have to go and help with their families there. And they know that. So what's gonna happen?
And because
As I
right
say.
now you have the situation where they're understaffed, under-equipped, all this sort of thing, and some of the staff will tell you they're depressed too. So with all of that going on, I mean, people need to be able to go and see their family members. They need to be able to go and see their family members, and all of these measures. Now, the measure to put 24-hour police officers at the accident and emergency, I have no problem with that. Put police officers there, or if you want to put a private security company, because we know that is the direction. I'll go ahead just now. They're going to say they can't keep police there, and they're going to get a private security company with armed officers and put them there, and then charge the taxpayers for that. We know that is the direction all you're heading. Only just saying police officers for now.
Which costs more.
Yeah, we know they're heading that direction. But for now, you all putting police officers there, good move. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, good move. No problem. But when it comes to the male medical ward and what you're doing, stupidness. According to certain people, that is magie. Absolute magie.
Because they have a nice big facility in Guelph. They could even put them in Guelph here, isolate them here.
Yeah.
Right.
Isolated
it's
them
not to say they don't have room. Yeah, right, but then.
And then again, it's the extent of the injuries that
because we're not saying the ICU. So these people are not in ICU; they're in the male ward. So it's not to say that you need to have them in ICU. You shut down the male, right? So at least the treatment that they get in is not the caliber of ICU. So you could put them in another location. They don't have to be there, and deprive everybody from being with their loved one. And when you're sick is when you want your family.
Yeah.
I mean, need them more because you need them all the time, but especially at that time, that's time you're vulnerable. And that's the kind of thing that they're doing to deprive people of the basic. I mean,
and it's not like you're talking about a situation with a contagious disease where nobody know what happened, like COVID or something back in those days. It's not like you say you're locking down the hospital because you're afraid people may bring the disease in or different things like that. You're speaking about something which is more manageable, that if you have these individuals at a specific location, only their family members who they have on a particular list would be able to enter and visit and see them. So that you separate them, you put their family members that they're okay. They say, you tell them, okay, 2 family members could visit you. Who are the 2 that you're nominating? And these are the only 2 that could come in and see them, rather than have them on the ward where anybody could say, well, I'm coming to see that one and do them something. That you have that. And yes, from what they're saying, it's based on, there's a possibility that some sort of activity took place in the vicinity of the hospital. Apparently, individuals may have been trying to get onto the ward to get at them or whatever, to do what they have to do on the ward. So yes, we understand that. But don't lock down the ward, move them. Move them. Simple, move them. Ah, goodness. Anyway, again, I don't want to say sensible things for people who don't have sense. Brother Dabrio, I know that we were supposed to be on for an hour. We've gone over the hour, which I don't mind. But we will wrap it here. If you have anything else you want to say to the people of St. John and the people of Grenada in general.
Yes, I want to remind people again of the kind of leadership we have, the kind of government that we have, and to be vigilant and not make the same mistake we make in the past. Running the country is not a lottery or raffle where you could say, give them a chance. Because when you give incompetent people a chance and people that do not care for you a chance, we see what's happened. So let us not make the same mistake again, and let us, during these times, we know it's difficult for each other, let's try to see how we could help make life a lot better for our neighbors. And our neighbors, that means not only just who next to us, but to a whole country, because we have a nation that's crying out for good leadership. And we in the NMP, we are here, we are ready, we are willing, and we are waiting for the opportunity so that we could take back our country and restore our country to prosperity. Thank you.
Indeed. Brother Alvin Dabrio, we want to thank you so very much from those of us here at Talking Points. Always good speaking with you, my brother. And you know, definitely you could depend on me. You know, I'm going to be in St. John when the thing, you know St. John is my place. I'm coming up when the things start, definitely. So indeed, enjoy the rest of your night, sir. And remember, the door is always open anytime. You want to call in or you want to come on, just give us a buzz.
Thanks, Sheldon. Good night and good night to all the listeners. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Thank you so very much. Yes, indeed, folks, we were speaking there with my good brother, Alvin Dabrio. Yeah, that's the man himself, man. Alvin is a man with a mission. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I mean, come on. You have a situation at your medical facility. And I mean, I don't necessarily want to go over it. Wait, now I end up all over here. No, you're right. It's over here. It's supposed to be nice here. You have a medical facility. You shut down the whole facility because just move them. And you can't tell me that there's no place to put them in the hospital. Talk to the staff. Talk to the nurses. Talk to the staff at the hospital. And they will tell you that, yes, hey, call me. Hey, bon J. Let me take a call. I didn't even open for good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Good night, my friend. How are you?
Not so bad. I listen to my MPD.
Yes, man. The man
himself. I'm MP, and my cousin as well. And he makes some valid points.
Yeah, good cousin.
Yeah, man. Dabrio to the Duncan. Dabrio and the Duncan, we related. All of us is one.
Hey.
Yeah?
Man, I say it was a no area, no. You're right, and don't forget I said Duncan. Don't forget I'm a Duncan too, so we got to talk on that. But anyway, go ahead.
Yes, Sheldon. I listen to him and he makes some valid point. And I couldn't believe tonight when I heard him say that the bridge gone again. The boating. Well, I don't understand how you could take a boating and build for the people at close. That don't make any sense. As he rightfully said, there is many bridge still up. You want to right now at the Lands Bridge right in the back with it. People still passing on it. Why didn't they take this and use this for the people of closure so they could walk on it? And then he said also current gone up there and I called someone up there and they tell me there's no light. You know? And so why the Prime Minister is doing the people of closure these things and you promised them I heard him today. I watched him and
his program
and Real FM today with Andrew Donald, where he was showing clips about the Prime Minister talking in closure. No, not Real FM. No, there's and the classroom. Classroom. Yeah. And I see the Prime Minister talking inside it, but and even one of them say my man come late. One of them said I think the MP reached late. She was very late.
But that is of course. Listen, that the MP doesn't respect people and their time. That is a normal thing for her.
I realize that. Because she care about the people of closure. If she truly care about the people of closure, she'll be on time to hear the people cry. And imagine that. As Mr. Dabrio said again too. You understand that, and you said it too. They want to block people from talking. They're doing rubbish, they're doing shit, and they don't want people to talk. But Sheldon, I go to me, I dining my boots going down, I'm having my boots on, and I give them a real fine. These people need to go. They don't care about people. What's the condition of closure? You even the clip, they show the clip where they put up cliff or whatever they put up for the people to walk, and the thing going down. So that these people and the intention is to kill people in closure. That's the motive. And one of my co-workers telling me, when the wall is there, they get good cliff. I say no. But listening to the program with the man who talks about that the testing they will be doing, he said that's not the problem is. Where they put the wall is and the problem and where the water is running is two different things. Two different things were going on there. Two different things were going on there.
Here's what, let's have a longer conversation on it tomorrow night. I want to play a couple things here, and I only have,
All right, brother.
I have 4 minutes remaining, but I want to
All
play
right, do
some
your
stuff.
thing.
And here's what, it's going to take me at least until 10 past. So let me get
No
into
problem.
that now. Yeah, I value your contribution, but I really want to play these things before I run out of time tonight.
You're welcome, brother.
All right, my brother, thank you. And let me just mute it one time because I want to play some stuff before I leave tonight. I want to play some stuff before I leave tonight.
Prime Minister, your administration has submitted a bill for approval in Parliament that will reduce the age of civil responsibility from 18 to 16 years so that minors will not have to seek permission from parents when they require sexual and reproductive health treatments. When will there be consultations with stakeholders on this bill? I must also state, as a parent, I am against this bill, and I would like to have a forum to debate this issue.
All right, so thank you for that, and I'm happy. In a sense, this is a forum to debate the issue, so I'm happy for you indicating your views on the matter. I wish to point out that there has been extensive consultation on these matters.
There's been extensive consultation. The churches don't know about it. People who work in public health don't know about it. The people who in civil society don't know about it. You definitely didn't consult the opposition in relation to this. So who did you consult? When all you speak between all yourself and cabinet, all you expect that to pass as consultation? No, you lie.
These are actually all matters that this administration met when it came into office. As recently as yesterday, I was pointing out to someone that when I just joined the political arena and I became leader of the National Democratic Congress, one of the first public events I attended was an event at Spice Basket, which was then being led by a team that was leading what is called a Spotlight Initiative, which main focus is on gender-based violence, providing access to women, including young women, to make sure that they have access to sexual and reproductive health. At the time, the minister who was leading this initiative was the Honorable Delma Thomas, who was then the minister responsible for those matters. And this has been an ongoing project or program spanning years. As I said, we're talking as far back as when I got involved, 2021, and even before that. So there's been extensive consultations on these issues. I think what happens...
Again, any of the organizations that can confirm that consultation, you're talking about during NNP time now. Yeah, he's taking it back to this time and then he calling Delma Thomas' name. So as soon as something becomes controversial, as soon as people start to rebel against something, you realize where you throw it back on Delma Thomas and during NNP time, because it has become controversial now. So don't blame us. It's NNP was looking to do that. Yeah, don't blame us. It's not we. It's NNP was looking to do that. Lie.
Sometimes it's that because the consultation is so extensive and so long that by the time the bills come to Parliament, people forget that there were extensive consultations and that it appears as if out of the blue some bill is being rushed through Parliament. So that's not the case. And I want to take the opportunity to just perhaps provide some rationale over this issue. And I think it's important because oftentimes we don't take the opportunity to explain a lot of the historical or legal context about things related to sex. First of all, there is no age of consent for having sex in Grenada.
What the Prime Minister just said there? It's a lot of man in jail for this thing, you know, what you're trying to tell us there? What the Prime Minister just said? Okay.
First of all, there is no age of consent for having sex in Grenada. There are criminal prohibitions.
Oh, there's no age? What? No, let me go back again. The Prime Minister saying that. I know it's a real man in jail for, yeah, let me see.
Context about things related to sex. First of all, there is no age of consent for having sex in Grenada. There are criminal prohibitions on persons who are of a certain age, specifically persons who are adult, or I would put it this way, 17 and over, having sex with persons who are 16 and under. And if you do so, then you're liable, even if the 15-year-old consented. If you're 18 or 19 or 20 or anything like that, you're liable to be charged criminally because for criminal purposes, the law says if you're under 16, you cannot give consent. That's the first thing. Second, I want us to understand what we are trying to address. We are trying to address instances where young people need access to sexual or reproductive health, and that includes information, that includes education, and it may in some instances include treatment. But their parents will either not consent to their detriment, or the children are unable to even have conversations with their children, with their parents about it. And I want us to look at the reality of what many young people, particularly young.
And again, folks, I've read the bill. We're going to go through it tomorrow night, not tonight. If I have to go through that tonight, we have to do a 3-hour program instead of a 2, and I already see people saying good night, they're going their way. Yeah. If we have to do that, it's going to end up being a 3-hour program tonight, and I can't do a 3-hour program. But I will say that I've gone through the bill, and the bill has a lot of loopholes in it. If you are making a law, and you're making a law specific, and in fact, if you're making a law, and you're making a law specific, you're saying, we are allowing the people from the age of 16 to make decisions in relation to, and you list what it is. They've listed some, so they said including. So it leaves open if that child wants to start taking hormones. If they are a boy and they believe they should be a girl and they want to start taking hormones to change themselves. They ain't doing the surgery yet, but they decide they want to go and see a doctor and they want to start taking hormones because they want to change, they want to grow breasts, etc. They start to take estrogen, whatever, and different things like that. That they could legally just go and do that at the age of 16. They don't have to ask their parents' permission because it says sexual and reproductive. Let me repeat, sexual and reproductive. So they can't tell me that that is not included in it. If you make it specific and you exclude certain procedures, and you exclude certain treatments, and you exclude certain things from it, that is one thing. What they are doing is an open-ended bill. If all you want to sit down there and let it pass, well, all well and good. Yeah, all well and good, if all you want to sit down and let it pass. Do not be fooled by what he's saying here. We'll go over the bill line by line tomorrow night.
Girls face in Grenada. Many of them are abused sexually. Many of them are raped. Some of them suffer from family abuse. Some of them suffer from incest. And even when they try to go to their parents, because let's not forget, in some instances, it is the parents who are doing it. We have instances where men are sleeping with their daughters. If the child needs health treatment in those circumstances, is she able to go to the very perpetrator, her father, to ask his consent?
But what is taking place there is a crime, and therefore in that situation the police have to become involved, and then social welfare and all of these people become involved. It is a situation that you can address through the legal aspect, because the father has committed a crime. What happens in the same situation where the girl is raped by somebody else and decides that she's not going to her father because the father is a kind of man? I ain't going and tell daddy because daddy going to do something to these people. What happens in a situation like that? Yeah? My goodness. You know what? I think I end in here for tonight. We will go over this in full tomorrow night. You have the full thing. We're going to go over it tomorrow night. I think that is, some people don't want to see his face as the last thing. They want to see my face as the last thing tonight. They want to see his face as the last thing tonight. Yeah? And to try to throw other people and things, Spotlight Initiative and all these things on that. Don't try that. Tomorrow night, we're going over the bill, line by line, and no, this will become law. Let me repeat, this will become law as of Thursday. The churches who had a lot to say, yes, are talking about the churches. Some people that's fine because it's the church, you can't talk about it. Are talking about them. I answer to God, not to any church on this earth, not to any pastor, preacher, or individual on this earth. I answer to God and only to Him. So I will talk about the churches, because some people just feel because they name pastor or because they name church that it is above criticism. Nothing is above criticism on God's earth. And if you are a Christian, you understand that. Because the churches are very silent in relation to this, outside of the priests that speak out on Sunday and so. And even speaking out, informing a congregation is one thing, but are you going to lead your flock in the correct direction to ensure that what you know is about to happen does not happen. Is civil society was very noisy. When the new National Party was in office, yes, I say noisy. They used to talk a lot. They used to say a lot of things. They used to accuse of a lot of things. During the period of the new National Party, where's civil society here? Where are they in relation to this particular issue? Is there? And some folks are asking that question. Is there still civil, forget Cassandra Mitchell, is there still civil society in Grenada? Yeah? Those who used to jump up and write in articles in newspaper 2 and 3 pages long on all sorts of different minor things in Grenada. Those who used to go and take the placard and go and stand up in front of the ministerial complex and go and stand up on the carnage and go and stand up on different places and pong drum. Where are they now? Where are their voices? All of them gone? Mute. But let it have been NNP in office and this was taking place. Papa God, you'd have never live it down. They're afraid to even call the radio station and talk about it. Thank God this person called and actually asked the Prime Minister directly. Whoever you are, congratulations. Ziggy, I hear your call too. I was glad that you were very measured. Learn to be so on your live too, eh? Yeah. So I want to know, where are all those voices that were out there, loud, screaming during the period of the new National Party? How all you get quiet so now? All your churches encouraging this kind of thing? All you want to see these kind of things taking? Maybe all you're okay with it. So if all you're okay with it, who am I? Yeah, who am I? Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you, and everything you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not just about you. No, I want to be speaking to you and I want to be speaking with you. I am out.
I am Nolene Thompson, the new National Party caretaker for the constituency of St. David's. Over the weekend, multiple people were shot in a crowded public area. One of them died. Let's sit with that for a second. Someone's child, someone's sibling, someone's friend didn't make it home. This is not just crime. This is violence ripping through the heart of our communities. This is danger knocking on every single one of our doors. And I am here to say, enough is enough. We must condemn this violence loudly and without hesitation. But let's also face the deeper truth. Stopping this is not just the job of the police. It's the responsibility of all of us. To our police, you know the hotspots. You know the patterns. We need you present, visible, and proactive. We need you to patrol, to intervene, to show the law is alive and working. Do not let fear of criminals or the weight of criticism slow you down. We, the people, are ready to stand with you. We want to see you leading this fight. To our communities, we are not just spectators. We know when things are brewing. We know when young men are heading down the wrong path. We cannot stay silent anymore. We must report. We must intervene. We must look out for one another. And parents, step up in your homes. Churches, NGOs, leaders, rise up in your neighborhood. Mentor, guide, support, and help offer another way. This is not the time for pointing fingers. This is a time for joining hands. Because here's the truth we must all face. If we don't stand together now, we will all stand to lose. We save our country together, or we lose it together. We must act now. We must unite now for every one of us. I have my backpack and I'm ready. Maltin me back button already. Grenadians, Carriacouians, and Petit Martinicans. As we step into the vibrant carnival season, I want to take a moment to speak especially to our young men and women. I know the excitement. I was once young too. I understand the thrill, the music, the freedom that comes with this time. But I also remember the risks that can come with it. So I encourage you to have your fun, but be responsible. Avoid mind-altering substances that could cloud your judgment and can lead to poor decisions, including unwanted or regrettable sexual situations. Keep your mind clear, your body safe, and your dignity intact. Enjoy without weapons. Avoid unnecessary arguments. And most importantly, learn to walk away. There's no shame in walking away. In fact, it's strength. Look out for each other. If something or someone makes you feel uneasy, trust your instinct and remove yourself. Let's make this carnival season a time of celebration, not tragedy. Stay safe, stay smart, and take care of one another.
Are you ready to take your brand to the next level? Look no further than the Chameleon Design Studios, the creative powerhouse behind Key Central and dozens of standout brands across Grenada and beyond. From web designs, animations, and motion graphics to custom video productions, we bring your visions to life with unmatched efficiency and professionalism. Need a logo? Logo design starts at just $1,500. And our starter pack includes brochures, call cards, and letterheads. Whether you're launching a new business, revamping your identity, or telling your story visually, Chameleon Design Studios is the new face of designs. Call us now at 1473-422-8601 or scan that QR code. Follow us on Instagram at chameleon_473. Let's communicate. Call us today.
For more information, contact We Noise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. We Noise TV, the leading streaming provider. Anytime, anywhere, any screen. Access to your favorite HD contents with prices as low as ever, yearly or yearly payments. This worldwide service is flexible for you to keep up with all your favorite programs, shows, movies, and local programming from home no matter where you travel to. Worldwide TV channels right at your fingertips wherever you are. Latest in live sports, binge watch all your favorite TV shows, movies on demand, videos on demand. You can pause, rewind, fast forward anytime. Never miss 1 minute in entertainment important to you. No contracts, no added prices for sports or premium packages. We certainly don't have to pull tricks like cable and satellite companies. Our product speaks for itself and beyond. We Noise TV. We have everything like Netflix, Disney, Amazon. Watch your favorite movies, TV shows, and series with our services. With our service, you will get rid of all other subscriptions. For more information, contact We Noise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com.
Fitness Revolution 11 2025, 16 days of fun, fitness, laughter, energy. I just want to encourage everybody to come down to both Tantin, Old Trafford playing field, and Monroe's Granans for our eventful fun, fitness, and giveaways. Fitness Revolution 11, one and all. See you there.
This world is crying for love, blessed love.